the North Queensland Cowboys versus the St George Illawarra Dragons. Friday night football on 9.
Scenes reminiscent of the Cowboys semi-final at this ground against Brisbane last September. Another huge crowd in. It is a wonderful atmosphere. Everybody in very good spirits with high expectations tonight as we welcome you to what promises to be one of the best Friday night games we've seen on 9 this season, with the third place Dragons up against the fourth place Cowboys. In my opinion, the two most entertaining teams in the league. And Matthew Johns, that is not something I say lightly. In my opinion, I do think that when they are at their very best, these sides are almost unbeatable. So when they come together, that makes an intriguing contest. How do you rate them?
It's going to be exciting. Two very good teams in great form. More importantly, Pete, at this time of the year, they can both win the competition without a shadow of a doubt. Dragons, what about them last week? Absolutely sensational. But the Cowboys, they're hard to beat at home. It's warm, it's humid, it's different football up here. And I saw the Cowboys before the game, Pete, just before we come on here. And I tell you what, they look good. They're up for this challenge without a shadow of a doubt.
And that was the case last year, gathering momentum as we get into the run to the finals. At fullback tonight, arguably the best broken field runner in the game, Matt Bowen. On the wings, one of last week's heroes, Ty Williams, got a hat-trick against Manly. On the other flank, the very experienced Matt Singh. In the centres, Josh Hannay finding form after being out injured and a short stay in Premier League. And his centre partner, former captain Paul Bowman. At 5'8", and it may be a permanent move to the number 6 for Jonathan Thurston. At half-back, a significant signing for the club mid-season, Brett Furman up against one of his old clubs tonight. At lock forward is the skipper Travis Norton. In the second row, the Bruce brothers, Steve Southern, hard-hitting man, alongside the aggressive Luke O'Donnell. And in the front row, the cornerstone of their forward pack, Paul Rauhihi, at hooker Aaron Payne. And after 8 weeks on the sideline with injury, Carl Webb is rushed into the run on side. So their bench tonight, Rod Jensen and David Fayumu, and two big men in Mitchell Sargent and Shane Tronk, coached by Graham Murray. Graham Murray and Nathan Brown, two of the most approachable and likeable coaches in the competition. And we do congratulate Nathan Brown, turned 32 during the week. So happy birthday, Nathan.
32 and looks 42. That's what coaching does to you. Have a look at the 3-2 to Graham Murray. But a very important game tonight. That doesn't mean a lot. Let's have a look at this Dragon side in great touch. The fullback, a great young talent, Clint Greenshields. The wingers are two of the most improved players in the competition in my book, Colin Best and Wes Nagama. The centres for the Dragons, well, they're lethal. How good are they going? Mark Gaznia, who was in rare touch, and so was his partner, Matty Cooper, a real handful. The halves, well, they're the captain, Trent Barrett, a great player, and Ben Hornby, who is making a real go of the number 7 jersey. The back row consists of the warhorse, Sean Timmins, the very exciting youngster, Ben Cray, and the passionate Lance Thompson. But what about this front row, Pete? I think it's the best in the league at the moment. The bull, Luke Bailey, Dean Young, who was one of the form forwards in the competition, and the big Jason Rolls. The bench is strong. Ashton Sims, Justin Paul, alongside Corey Payne and young Mick Ennis.
Well, just quickly, Matt, where's this game won tonight?
Pete, look, there's a lot of great big men in the game. I think it's the little men for North Queensland that can win it, and I do think North Queensland have got the ability to win the game.
Well, enjoying the atmosphere and the climate tonight is Phil Gould. Across to you, Gus.
Thanks, Stello. Well, the Dragons team is absolutely flying at the moment. Big wins over Manly, the Sharks and the Roosters in recent weeks, and I reckon they've done it with their defence. They've got a big pack of forwards that's really dominating the play-the-ball area. Their back rowers are mobile, so when the ball goes past them, they can slide across and cover up the holes, and their big outside backs are very aggressive. They're getting up and really giving it to the opposition players, cutting down their thinking time. Now, everyone who plays against the Dragons usually plays a fairly predictable and structured style of attack. But this Cowboys team is completely different. They've got some real unpredictable players in their side. Their hooker, Aaron Payne, if you go to sleep at the marker area, he can hurt you. He'll be up the middle of the field. He's got a kick. He put that kick in for Ty Williams last night to snatch victory away from Manly. Jonathan Thurston's back to 5'8". That suits him. With Brett Furman coming in at halfback, Jonathan Thurston can now concentrate on his own game. He too has got plenty of skill and plenty of unpredictability about him. And then the little man at the back, the little master, Matty Bowen. He can do it from anywhere on the field. His own end, their end, with the ball or without it. Matty Bowen is a real danger to this Dragons side. I think it's the unpredictability of the Cowboys that could trouble this Dragons defence. The other thing they've got to worry about is the hometown crowd. This is full to rafters here tonight. Townsville fans, that's the thing they've got to combat. You people at home in the lounge rooms, you've got the best seat in the house. We'll take you so close, you'll be able to see them change their minds. But imagine having to come up and put up with these people in a hometown semi-final.
It is round 22 of the Telstra Premiership in the rooms with the Cowboys. Last word from Coach Graham Murray. This really is the calm before the storm in the rooms, because again it's a night of celebration in Townsville. Every home game is. They've averaged over 20,000 fans a game here this year. They've won 7 of 9 here this year. And in each of those games they've averaged 33 points a game. They may need 33 tonight to beat this mob, the Dragons. 3 straight victories, 3 straight wins over final contenders. And last minute preparations for the St George Illawarra side. Hasn't been their most happy place to come and play football. They copped an absolute hiding here a few years ago. That was back in 2000. In fact, it was their second biggest loss in the club's history. He thinks their form is a lot better going into tonight's match than back then. You see Luke Bailey in the huddle, Lance Thompson, Trent Barrett. Also celebrations in Townsville kicking off tonight, commemorating the 60th anniversary of VP Day. 60 years since the end of World War II. Trent Barrett with a walkout from the Dragon sheds. Jason Riles behind him, Matt Cooper, Luke Bailey, Mark Gasnier. It's a star-studded lineup. The big 6 are all there, as they call them. All internationals. Dragons out onto Dairy Farmers Stadium. Nines Friday night football. Level on competition points with the Cowboys in what has been an emotional week for the Dragons, with the passing of a club legend in Robert Stone. All 17 out on the ground. Corey Payne into the 17 for Michael Henderson. You see Corey there in jumper 18. And now the Cowboys. Travis Norton cleared only yesterday to play tonight. He's been battling a groin injury. He's the skipper. We're behind Aaron Payne on the run out. Listen to this reception for the home team. Big Carl Webber's back in jumper number 10. Paul Rahihi missed last week. He's in the side. It's such a strong front row. Webb, Rahihi up front. Shane Tromp coming off the bench. This is the business end of the season. We're in for a good one tonight. National anthem tonight, to be sung by a name well known to football fans, the name of Icon. It's Ben's younger brother Sean, here at Dairy Farmers Stadium in Nines Friday night football.
Let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, on beauty rich in rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair in joyful strains, and let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
Sean Icon, 26-year-old, younger brother of Ben. And out on the ground with the players, 14 veterans of World War II. Men and women, bravery and courage that those of us up in the commentary box I don't think can comprehend. And we wish them all well as they celebrate the 60th anniversary of VP Day. And much of the war effort was coordinated out of Townsville, so it has extra significance here in North Queensland. Dragons players, you can see the black armbands, left bicep of Ben Hornby, and we will be observing a minute's silence with the passing of Robert Stone last week. A wonderful St George man, Did so much for the club as a player. 281 great games. Grand finals in 77 and 79. And condolences to the family of Robert Stone. Passed away far too young, just 49 years of age. And as I say, a great St George man and a former teammate of Craig Young.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Saddened by his passing. A great man of rugby league. So stirring stuff for St George Illawarra as they line up for this one. Tim Mander is referee. We're only a month away from the playoffs. We expect to see both the Dragons and the Cowboys in September. They may even line up against each other in the biggest day of the year. Fireworks in and around the ground. Dairy Farmers Stadium, let's get it on. Nine's Friday night football. Tim gives us a woohoo and a yeah. It's a big night for him. And Bailey with a first run for the Dragons. Back to the 20. Crowd nice and lively. They will play their part tonight, as Gus mentioned. Here's Nguama. Swarm of defenders in there. Payne was there. Rahihi, Norton. And now Young with a scurry from dummy half, but plenty of attention there as well. Payne on him, the two number 9s meet. Now Jason Riles. Origin and international front rows tonight. Kick from Barrett inside the 40, copped a check from Payne. He's back up Trent Barrett. Matt Bowen with the ball for the first time tonight and tackled on the 30.
And these two sides, much better teams than they were 12 months ago because they're prepared to build their game now. Tremendous talent out there. And much more care with the football as Barrett hit legally by all the officials. No problems with that as far as they was concerned.
Now Travis Norton with the ball just outside the 40 and back infield they come. And Webb has a touch up to halfway. So strong. He slipped the ball out. The back's been put down by Southern. That'll be knocked on against the Cowboys. Webb was desperate to release the ball head-to-head. It is 6 apiece. But only the one win out of 5 attempts for the Dragons up here in Townsville.
Make sure we're bound properly here.
And just to show how close these teams are, statistically they both scored the same amount of tries. There's their last meeting. 92 apiece. The Dragons have conceded one more try. They're on the same amount of points on the competition ladder. They've lost the same amount of games. Nothing between them.
Now the first touch for Gazdia tonight. He lines up against Paul Bowman. An experienced opponent. Now Timmins comes back towards centre field. Payne is there where he had a good hold on him, able to throw him to ground. Dragons 40 metres from the Cowboys line. And Young along for Riles, who's picked up and dumped by Southern. Dapto Jr., a double agent in the forward pack for the Cowboys. Hornby with the number 7 on his back for Bailey this time, picked up by Webb. They renew their acquaintance from Origin. Webb and Bailey. 30 metres out. Hornby along with Barrett there for Thompson. And Thompson is taken front on by Thurston. Last tackle here for the Dragons. 25 out. Hornby's going to be the man to provide the kick. Now Barrett chasing through's offside. Not so best. Williams doesn't get to it. Bowen gets across. And ball is dead. And we've got ourselves a line dropout.
Interesting possessional change in defence for the Cowboys. Paul Bowman, normally a right side of the field player, has come across to Mark Gaznia, who's been in scintillating form. Remember back to Origin. Now Paul Bowman was marking Matt Cooper. Sean Berrigan was marking Gaznia. I think that Paul Bowman has said, give me a crack at the big fella. I'll hold him out for you. Let's see how he goes.
Line drop out. And fielded by Greenshields, and Riles has the job of bringing back, and there's plenty of bees around the honeypot there waiting for Riles. And Bowman with O'Donnell. And now Young, they attack the blind side with Thompson running straight at Thurston. I think they'll do plenty of that tonight. They're 22 metres away from the line. Early chance with the Dragons. Barrett inside for Bailey at full throttle. Now 15 out was a good low tackle from Aaron Payne. Dean Young again, the short side attack. Riles. This time it's Garcia one-on-one with Thurston. And Thurston makes the tackle. 10 away from the line. Barrett inside. Greenshields on the ball. Payne is again around the legs. Rahihi over the top. Last tackle. Young. Barrett. 5 away. Chopped the shoulder there from Southern. Comes up there for Timmins. He goes over for St George Illawarra. We've got the first try of the night. A ricochet and a 4-0 scoreline. Dragons over the Cowboys. What a start.
A little bit of luck there for the Dragons, but they played good field position after giving possession. Carl Webb trying to force a pass. Trent Barrett got nailed by Steve Southern when he kicked this football. His second knock after putting boot to ball. But the deflection was a good one, and the number 13 strolls across under the post. It's about to be 6-0. All the Dragons so far.
Well, there's no defence to this. Fifth tackle, you put the ball along the ground, put it in the air, you're always a lottery. And that time, the numbers rolled around for the Dragons. Perfect start for them. Couple of sets of 6, they've looked dangerous. They've looked powerful. They've looked confident.
He just laughed.
Well, the Cowboys not done with yet. They haven't seen much of the football. And I think they'll persevere with trying for offloads. I think even though Carl Webb made a mistake there, they'll look to push the pass, try and break up this Dragons defence.
Sean Timmins, who will be 29 tomorrow, coming up with the first try. Where's Nguama successful? 6-0 start to the informed St George Illawarra Dragons. Sideline duties tonight with the one and only Matthew Johns.
Thank you, Vossi. Great start for the Dragons. Look, for the Cowboys to win tonight, they need to work on the same defensive structure that frustrated so many good attacking sides in last year's final series. If you remember, they moved up quickly and the likes of Matty Singh and Ty Williams defended outside in. That's the key. That's how you handle Gazzy and Cooper. Outside in, don't give them one-on-one opportunity.
Kick from Thurston has gone out on the full. Hornby getting across to it. They've got a penalty centre of halfway.
Very interesting the way that Ben Hornby has handled this. There he goes towards the sideline. Oh, that's fine. He's not in the field of play. Neither's the ball.
But if he hadn't have got that left foot to ground, it would have been counted as Ben Hornby taking it over the sideline.
Exactly.
It was pretty close. Here is Riles, 29 metres away from the Cowboys line. It's put St George Illawarra in with another chance of posting points. Bailey, strong run into Southern. 20 metres out. How well is Bailey playing over the past month? Barrett. And back inside for the try scorer, Timmins. Payne high up. Southern was the man around the legs. Young at dummy half. The crowd's gone a little quiet. Here's Bailey again. State of Origin certainly hasn't taken the edge off the Dragons front rower. Young out of dummy half. He's got himself a try. Well, this is quite remarkable. Dragons 2 tries to open tonight. Right underneath the black dot. It is 10-0 in the 7th minute. And
this is what David Faumu has done for the Cowboys at stages this season early in games. Throwing the dummy, a little bit of footwork. Just overread here. If we freeze it there, you can see just the one marker and a couple of defenders on this side as play continues. Once you're ordinary at marker, you're ordinary everywhere else in defence. Everything else feeds off how your markers defend. And only one there going the wrong way just made it so much easier. The little step one-on-one with Carl Webb. And what a young man, young player this man is. He's got a huge future, Dean Young.
As I said, there may not have been defence for the first one, but there should have been defence for that one. They just can't hold the power of these Dragons forwards in this early stage. I mean, it's very early days. Don't write the Cowboys off. They haven't had the football yet. Gee whiz, the Dragons, haven't they handled their opening 5 minutes very, very well?
And Nguama from right in front, and it is a 12-0 scoreline. A shock scoreline here. Dean Young getting the second try, following on from Sean Timmins.
And boss, we talk about these big Dragons forwards, you know, and sometimes they don't all get on the field at the same time. Not only are they on the field at the moment, but they've actually spent a fair bit of time together this year. All of a sudden, the combinations and pushing each other on the field and on the training paddock is starting to come out in their play. Luke Bailey's start to this game has been absolutely outstanding. He's virtually taken them on. Paul Rahihi in a local paper today said it's me or Bailey. At the moment, it's all Bailey.
And here he is again, Bailey on the run back. And Rahihi is one of 4 defenders there. They contain him on the 10. But a 12-0 scoreline to start Nine's Friday night football. Here's Riles. Bowman was attracted into the tackle with Southern and Rahihi. Now Young, little fake to the right and back to the left with Timmins. This time straight at Steve Southern. Almost back to the 30-metre line. Dragons penalty here. It is all going St George Illawarra's way at the moment. At home this year, Cowboys 7 from 9. Their only losses to the Broncos and Souths. The Dragons 5 and 5 on the road this year.
And let's not forget, just a week ago, the Cowboys trailed Manly 18-6 at one stage. The first time this season they've come from behind by 10 points or more. As another short ball, Greenshields.
What a ball on the Clint Greenshields. Got away from Southern. Wrapped up by Bowen. 15 metres out from the line. Young puts the foot down. Gets within 5 of the line. They're lined up left and right. They come to the right. Timmins. Defence got off the line quickly. It was Bowman who came up and took Timmins off balance. Here is Young for Barrett. Slows it down. Links up with Bailey. Falls into the tackle of Southern. Still 8 metres out. But 12 points already on the board. Barrett. Then along for Cray. It's his first touch. And gets an offload away. They lost the ball over the line. Hornby has lost it. A bomb try will break in Nine's Friday night footy. It's 12-0. Here at Dairy Farmers Stadium. And the away team, the visitors, the Dragons, they could have had a third try on the board.
There was a couple of let-offs there. Firstly, that pass going to ground. He would take that 9 times out of 10 with Ben Hornby. And when the break was made by Greenshields, the next play, if they'd have gone left, they had a 6-on-3 overlap. Everyone travelling at speed. Dean Young went out of dummy half.
Payne into dummy half. Rahihi there and running up. He's lost the ball. Suggestion it may have been stripped. They walked away from the scene of the crime, the Dragons, and they're on the attack with Best, and now trying to strip the ball to Thurston, and he's done it.
Big play from Jonathan Thurston.
Thurston coming up with a ball on what would have been a 0 tackle for the Dragons 20 metres out. Now Williams has got in close and he just fell into the tackle there of Thompson. It was devoured in that one. Here's Thurston, across with Norton, floats it over the top. And away goes Matty Singh, comes back infield, almost back to halfway. Now the crowd like what they're seeing. Cowboys showing a bit of their attack now. Along for Thurston, on the run and on the roll. The Cowboys now 30 metres away from St George Illawarra's line. Last tackle. And here is Brett Furman against one of his former clubs. He's lost the ball. It was the last tackle and he took it right to the line. Rolling the dice. And Cray is back with it for St George Illawarra.
That's what I say about the Cowboys. They're unpredictable. No team has tried to go around them in the last 3 weeks for fear of intercepts. Didn't worry the Cowboys over the top to Matty Singh into space. They won't die wondering.
3. All the way.
Dragons with the ball. Best back infield for Thompson. Thompson running in there at the 2 front rowers. Got an easy landing in the end. Matt Cooper's got a dislocated finger back there. That's inside the Dragons 20, so he's out of play at the moment. 5th tackle, Riles plays it for Young with Trent Barrett. He looked back to kick left. Cray's coming through, so is Nguama. Singh's underneath it. Singh has lost it. Nguama's with the ball. 12 metres out. Tackle count starts yet again. St George Illawarra, their pitch tent inside the Cowboys 20 with Bailey. He's only a metre from the line. Nguama, they got 2 on the short side here. Nguama, they come to the open. Hornby standing deep with Timmins. Barrett on his outside, decides to have a run. But he's only 8 metres from the line. Held up by O'Donnell and Rahihi. Young in front of the Cowboys posts. This time they come back to the left. Young's already got 1 try. Taken low by Payne. And a dummy half goes Timmins. A run for the line. Stretching out the arm. Cray's got it down. That's try number 3. First it was Timmins, then it was Young, and now it's Cray for 16-0.
Well, can anything go wrong for the Cowboys? That hasn't already. Every time they get the football, they turn it over. We've got Paul Bowman coming out to have a chat with the referee. As we freeze it there, just watch the way that Cray changes his direction to come back between 2 defenders, reaches his hand out as play continues before he gets to the line. Knows that he's got the momentum, he's hit hard, throws the arm out, controls the football, threw a pass early that could have led to a try, and now he's got it over himself.
They're great, these back rowers for the Dragons, aren't they? Look at this fella. And all the best back rowers in the game, in fact, I will say nearly all the best back rowers in history started their career in the backs, started as centres or 5/8s or wingers as kids because they were the best athletes, they were the fastest runners. They had the best footwork. Then as size and maturity came their way, they moved into the back row. And Ben Cray's another one of those examples. Sean Timmins' example of that. Young backs moving into the back row, taking their athleticism there, and they're a real handful.
Just 20 years of age, Ben Cray, and still growing. Wes Nguama gets a third kick for the night in quick time. From 20 metres in from touch, and he's 3 from 3. Off the right boot. Dragons 18-0, Matty John sideline.
Boys, North Queensland, they've just been blown away around the rucks. Look at this. There's a try. That's the second try by Dunya. That is just way too loose around the ruck. There it is again. They're being blown away. It's a very, very subdued start by Paul Rahihi and Webb. Don't forget, they haven't played a lot of football recently, and I tell you what, it's showing.
The start of this game was so important for both teams because they are capable of running away with matches if they can get the opportunity. Now, all the opportunities have come to the Dragons. The Cowboys, they can hit back and they can hit back hard. But what a confidence builder for the Red and Whites as they work out a game through Bailey. 13 from his own line.
Cooper here at a dummy half. He was still getting treatment on that finger after the try was scored. No suggestion of him leaving the field though. He will play it 19 metres out from his line, but a strong start tonight from Young. So too Riles. Hits it up again. His 7th hit up for the night. His front row partner Bailey has chalked up 9 already. Young had a little look and Cray goes to short side. Gets over the top of Furman. Is tackled 8 metres short of halfway. They are attacking Furman, they're attacking Thurston. Barrett now inside for Greenshields. And Payne goes in for a tackle. We're calling his name plenty of times. 13 tackles already. Here's Barrett from 5 inside halfway. Kick back between Bowen and Singh. Singh with the ball, decides to run over the 20. There is a straight line of 8 chases for the Dragons.
And after 15 minutes, the Cowboys now have to start the game again. Get men out of dummy half at this end of the field. I think they're most dangerous when they get Payne working and getting the big forwards driving in a wedge in behind the play the ball area. Get back to what they do well, forget the scoreboard and get their game going.
Tronk is out there for the Cowboys. Add a bit of force, add a bit of muscle. He's come on for Carl Webb, and now Thurston kicks right from halfway. Wants it to pull up in the corner. This one has gone over the sideline. Controlled set there from North Queensland.
And that will help. They've only had 76% of the possession, the Dragons. Only 76%, so they've had it all. The Cowboys have had nothing to work with. And that time they're a safety first set. As Peter Sterling said, try and complete one. Try and get a good kick downfield. Have a breather before your next set of 6 in defence. Because the Dragons are just on fire at the moment.
Gus, that percentage there that you're talking about, that converts to 9 from 11 completions for the St George Illawarra side, 1 from 4 from North Queensland.
Both Cowboys front rowers replaced inside 15 minutes. Here's Cray for St George Illawarra. Sargent out there, so is Tronk. And the Dragons 3 tries to 0. Riles broke from the scrum quickly for a run. And Tronk there with Southern and Furman. Dragons back outside their 20 now. Bailey follows up. His front row partner is driven sideways. Better defence there from Southern. One of the Bruise brothers, as Sterlo put it in the opener. Now with Timmins. Taking the ground in the tackle of Payne. And Sargent. Young, another run. He'll move into the back row a little later on tonight. Played the full 80 last Friday night against the Roosters. Now back put down, an error from the Dragons. Likewise from Sargent. But this will be a changeover.
They look a little bit alike, Trent Barrett and Clint Greenshields. Trent Barrett was waiting for the ball. Greenshields was standing alongside of him. And I'm sure Young didn't know which was which. He threw it straight at Greenshields. He knocked it on.
Payne away here for Sargent. He's 25 metres from the line. Taking the ground there. He was straddled by Luke Bailey. And a dummy half goes Payne. Bailey never got the marker. Could have been pinned for offside. Here's Tronk running there in a grapple match there with Ben Cray and Riles. 15 from the line. The crowd left behind the home team. Switch of play from Furman for Bowen. Then on for Thurston. Little step, putting himself away from Barrett. And Barrett's there to finish off the tackle. Only 6 metres from the line. Dummy half's O'Donnell. Poor ball was let go by Sargent. Scooped up from Furman to Tronk. And Big Tronk is 9 metres from the line. Bailey, Riles, Cray all there in defence. Payne to the left with Thurston. The little kick is intercepted by Timmins. It was marked in goal, but Timmins had other ideas. And now Gasnier for St George Illawarra. And Jason Riles first in on the bench tonight. Dragons have got the big boppers coming off the bench. Poor and Sims. Payne back from injury tonight as well. Here's Justin Poor. He's on and he was strong last week as well. Back to the 30-metre line. Dragons in possession and in control. He's Young to the left with Hornby. On with Cray. Put a step when he got to the line, and Henne's tackle. Last tackle for St George Illawarra. They got the kicker sorted out this time. It's Hornby, and he has found space between Bowen and also Williams. Bowen runs back. Little Matty Bowen. They need a bit of his magic right now. 29 out from their own line. Ty Williams, their hero of last week. Collected there in the Poor and Bailey tackle. Now Singh will take the third one. Crowd not all that happy with the 10 metres at the moment. Sims ready to come on.
This is a very good test now for the Cowboys to see how they have matured as a football team, how they handle this situation. Up against a heavyweight, 18-0 down early in the game. Time is not a problem for them at the moment. It's just a matter of getting back into the game and starting to do what they do well.
And Payne from dummy half and a run, elusive for Tronk. An effective defence that time. Thompson, Barrett. Last tackle, Cowboys with Furman, steadies to kick high. He's got this above the uprights. Back there is Green, Shield steadies, planted the feet. He's been a wonderful find for them. We've got a touch judge in though. You have to think this has to be against the Dragons. Both touches have come in.
Who is he?
Have to get it sorted out who they want to call out here.
He's just taking him out of the chaser.
Okay.
He's taking the chaser.
What was like?
He's taking the chaser out.
Oh, taking the chaser out.
Yeah, he's taking the chaser from 5 metres before he's been put down by Luke Bailey.
Okay. Luke!
Luke Bailey called out here for the Dragons.
Just wait, we're going to have touchdowns talk to you.
Good. What's happened? Matty Bowen's running through chasing the kick. Luke Bailey's moved over his way to take him out of the
How do we well turn? You just go to your mark, close to that mark.
It is well turned.
You moved out of your line and took a man out. Okay, so we've got a penalty against that. Let's go. No, that's it. No, Trent, not now. We want to keep playing.
It was immediately after the ball went up, and you can bet your life the Cowboys won't be kicking for goal here. We're looking for more. And here's Tronk.
And he'll get them back almost to the 10-metre line. Bailey's the first man up there with Young. In front of the Dragons posts. Dragon with 18 points on the board. Here's Sargent. Put a step into his run there. 5 away. Payne at dummy half. Best chance of the night so far for North Queensland. Across with Furman. Has a dash at them. But there to shut down his run, Cray and Poor. Norton in a dummy half this time. Thurston, first receiver, 15 out. Along for Bowen. Gets the long pass. It's right over the sideline. It went right into the cheergirls. We will break in Nines Friday night football. Hope you enjoyed this one. Dragons 18-0. Here in Townsville, Dairy Farmers Stadium to kick off round 22. Friday night football on Channel 9. A month away from the playoffs. And Dragons on the march. Scrum 1 and Thompson at 5'8" from the scrum. Tackled by Furman. St George Illawarra first touch here for Sims. And Sims with a run. They sent Riles and they sent Timmins to the bench. And this time Justin Poor. They've kept Bailey out there. So operating with 3 of their front rowers at the moment. Barrett inside the 40. Tried to fend, but O'Donnell came over the top. It was strong with Southern low. And then Hornby kicks. That's from outside the 40 as Southern got up on him. Sings back there. Bowen wants him to spread it. That's what he does. Bowen was calling for it. Gets it. Centre field. Now links up with Ty Williams, but flat-footed. Bowen almost took out his own man.
One of the things that the Dragons will have spoken about all week is the kick chase. Go down together. Make sure that there's no weak links. Even if you go down a little bit slower, just make sure you don't offer the back three of the Cowboys any room to move. And so far, they've done it well.
Furman outside the 30. Tronk, he runs and looks straight at Luke Bailey. He got the stare straight back. Bailey in there to make the tackle with Poor on the 40. This time the crowd unhappy about defenders lingering a little after the tackle is made. Here's Bowman forced to come back infield. Fayumu's rushed out there, desperate to get into dummy half and go straight away for a run. Well, that was quite incredible. He sprinted from the sideline, pushed his teammate out of the way and makes 15 with his first touch. Furman kicks on the last, 35 metres out. He can certainly get some height on his kicks. And Greenshields again, he was off balance and then submitted. Henne came sprinting through.
Second great take in the space of 5 minutes, Clint Greenshields. Doing a wonderful job at the fullback position for the Dragons in recent weeks. His best can't get out of dummy half. Rod Jensen also on for the home team. Crowd trying to lift them.
Trainer. He's back over the team. St George Illawarra. And this time Hornby was probing with a little step. It is the 5th tackle for them. Barrett's in position for the kick. This from inside the 30. He's got a fair bit on it. Bowen's getting across there. Williams pulled out of the chase at the very last moment. And Bowen gets back to halfway. Now Thurston across with Bowman. And Bowman straightens up. Only really at half speed though, into the clutches there of Bailey. Penalty here for offside on the outside. He's gone all the way over to 20 metres in from touch. On the eastern side of the ground, Norton back to the bench. Alongside him, Webb and Rauhihi. 23 and a half gone and an 18-0 scoreline.
Matty Bowen's already shown he's prepared to take these outside backs on with long passes. One found the mark, one didn't. I don't think he'll give up.
Southern with the ball. And Southern running and will play it 20 out. Acting half Fayumu. Tronk is ready and raring to go for another 10 metres. At front on the tackle there of Poor. Back for Sargent. Well, the bench front rowers are providing what Graham Murray, the coach, was looking for. The side is with momentum now, the Cowboys. Furman, they need to convert it to points. Forced back infield is Jensen. He's 6 metres away from the line. Cowboys out of dummy half goes Fayumu. And Fayumu burrowed as hard as he possibly could. A metre from the line. Jensen up for Bowen. Bowen kicks to the wing of Colin Best. And up goes Ty Williams. But Best has got the ball and they can come back to the 20. He's got the height advantage, he's got the reach advantage, and he needed it right there.
Remember when you went to school and you had exams and you'd know you'd done your homework, you'd know you'd read every chapter in the book, you do whatever they asked you, you had the answer. That's the way the Dragons look at the moment. They look as though they've read every chapter and they know every answer to every question being asked of them. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. And if you didn't read every chapter, you knew which ones the questions were going to be on.
I never did that at school, Andrew, did you?
I'd have to perjure myself if I was to answer yes, Gus. It's on their 20. Don't know what it was like out at Greystanes Primary.
Oh, I wish I had it.
29 metres from their own line.
They've just got all the answers at the moment, the Dragons. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. They've got all the answers to every question that's been asked.
Justin Paul. He gets picked up on the tackle and dumped by Jensen. But the interchange players have made a difference for the Cowboys here. Here's Barrett. Back for Sims. Hard metres to make. And gets up within 45 metres of the Cowboys' goal line. Young to the left and Hornby runs up to the line and kicks. Cooper's coming through, but Sims there. Safe at the back and now for Bowen. This is where he loves it. Broken line. And Bowen back to the 30. Sharp play by the Dragons though. The kick from Hornby. 30 away. Furman wide ball. Thurston on for O'Donnell. O'Donnell. Good defence there by Barrett.
Sharp play by Matt Singh as well as Bailey and Timmins get a rest. He read that kick very early and was still able to attract a couple of defenders and get a football away to Matt Bowen.
Now Bowman infield for Thurston, on for Southern, and there's an abrupt end of the run to Dapto schoolmates there. Young and Southern front on. Sideline comment, Matthew Johns.
Yeah, the Cowboys, look at that.
Oh, here we go. Matt Cooper's away. Sing's there. Sing able to get him to ground that. He's a try saver. Back to you in a moment, Matty, as Deguama with the ball for the Dragons. Hornby set to the right. He throws it back infield for Greenshields. They were screaming for the ball on the right-hand side. 20 away from the Cowboys' line. Riles with it there for Poor. Poor's only 11 metres from the line. There's a short break on the bench for Jason Riles. Back into the thick of it. Young, high ball there for Barrett. Barrett for Sims, trying to stand and offload. Good tackle, Thurston did. Off it comes for Thompson. He's got Best on his outside. Bowen tries to hold up Thompson. Too strong. The bantamweight against the heavyweight. And the big bloke gets over for the Dragons' 4th try of the night.
Just have a look at the talent in this try. The ability, players to keep the football alive in difficult situations, to get passes away when mistakes could have easily happened. The turnover went to Matt Cooper. He looked like he was away, and Matt Singh again. Of course, that saves another try in his career. Now, there's not much on here. Ashton Sims gets a poor ball away because Gasnier was well and truly contained. Look at that effort there to get the ball almost off the grass to Lance Thompson, who uses his weight advantage to get through Matt Bowen. It'll look great front on as well.
I go back to something I said through State of Origin. Big outside backs. Thurston, Bowman, Bowen, trying to tackle these monsters. They're all big, tall men, and then you've got back rowers like Thompson, Timmins and Cray out on the edges. They're just out muscling them. They're just too big for them. It's not that the Cowboys aren't trying. It's just that the Dragons are too big and too strong in the important areas of the field.
I think that was Tim Greenshields getting involved there to catch it just as it was going to ground and get the ball away to the try scorer. There's Nguama. Been a real find on the wing for the Dragons this year, especially his goal kicking. Hits them very sweetly.
He's in his 15th first grade match, misses to the right. Once Ennis gets out there, he takes over the kicking duties. 29 gone, 22-0. St George Illawarra.
I'm afraid it just comes down to size. Look at this big fella, Ashton Sims. What I would like to see from the Dragons in the next few weeks, and we talk about the impact that fellas like Sims and Poor and Payne have off the bench. Over the next few weeks, I'd like to see them start those young blokes a little bit. Maybe put Rales and Bailey back to the bench, just in case it has to happen during the finals, just in case one of the big names is out. Matty Johns, what do you think about the Cowboys?
Well, I'll tell you, Gus, their error as an attacker, they're putting all sorts of pressure on the defence. They can't hold them out, and they're struggling for continuity in attack, the Cowboys. There's just no flow to their game, and I suppose that's what happens when you're trying to chase points and panic. They need to settle down, focus on field position, getting through their sets and picking up the energy in their defence. Try to take the focus off the scoreboard.
Ryle's got a great offload away in that passage of play. Complained about a high tackle. Here is Sims. Held there by Bowman. Short of the 30, Gasnier at a dummy half. And there's that little shimmy. And into the clutches again of Bowman.
And as soon as Mark Gasnier sees that opposite centre has gone to mark, he will attack the short side where he's come from. Every time.
Ennis is out there for the Dragons with the ball. Up to halfway. Held in the tackle of Faumu and O'Donnell. Last it is for the Dragons. Barrett inside halfway, under a little bit of pressure there from Shane Tronk. Singh underneath it, 5 metres out from his own line. Again, Bowen has positioned himself a good 15 metres away. Singh takes the tackle, 20 out from the line. And Hannay with it, hasn't seen a great deal of football so far. 25 metres away from the Cowboys' line.
See, on the other side of that too, the Cowboys are looking for little men in the Dragons' side to run out to get some ground. But there's no little men. Have a look at them along the line here. They're all the same shape, all the same size, all the same strength. There's no one little to run out.
Ty Williams out of dummy half, able to run. Thompson was never onside, a second marker. He's able to steal 15 metres right there. Last tackle, North Queensland, Faumu with Furman. He'll try his third bomb of the night. It's high again. Catch this one, Clinic says. He goes across. That's exactly what he does. And the chasers are offside this time. 3 out of 3.
Either that or
Jensen.
Yeah, Jensen, he's caught him in the air, actually. Referee was right on the spot to say that this tackle was made while Greenshield. No, the left leg was just about back on the ground. It's a line ball one. But again, the Cowboys have had to resort to that because they can't get into a good enough attacking position to do something on the last tackle, apart from try and put the ball high.
31 minutes gone. On the roll with Jason Riles taken front on there by Rod Jensen. 29 from their own line. And the big men, they keep on coming. This is Justin Poor. That time Sargent and Southern get across. Outside their 30 now, Ennis. And with it is Barrett inside for Sims. His involvement's been good off the bench. Couple of offloads as well. He will play it 5 metres short of halfway. Ennis for Barrett. Along for Gasnier, tries the footwork on Thurston, stands up in the Thurston tackle, intercept Faumu. He's with the ball, just inside the Dragons' half. Thurston across with Bowman, on for Sargent. Sargent had Furman on his outside, decided to run. And a penalty again. Dragons offside out wide. Matt Cooper, Ben Hornby on that side have been pinged yet again.
And this is something that Nathan Brown complained about when they beat Manly a few weeks ago. As play continues, we'll come back to it shortly.
Here's Tronk. 21 minutes from the line, offload. Chance for the Cowboys. First in with the ball. Back inside for O'Donnell. Paul and Thompson hang on. 11 metres from the line. The ground announcer doing all he can to rev up the crowd. Bowen with a dummy is only 3 metres out. Fayumu. Furman on, put down by Hannay. Scooped up by Nguama. Nguama runs over the 20. Mander on the run, asked was it a knock on. Got no help from touch judge or the man upstairs to say that it was, so it was play on. Dragons with the ball, Riles attacking the short side, and that time Hannay across. They're with the ball 12 metres inside their own half. Ennis has a run for Greenshields. And Greenshields to ground. 4 tries in this first half to St George Illawarra. 3 goals. Goals to Nguama. Cray with an offload. There could be another coming. Cooper's on the run. Cooper's got support. And Singh has saved another one. Singh's got back there. With the arms of Joe the Gadget Man pulled it in.
He's the best in the business, Matty Singh. The absolute best in the business. You could make a highlights reel over the years of the tries that he saves. The dead set, certain, going to be a try, and he pulls it out of the air.
O'Donnell with it for the Cowboys. To the miraculous deeds of Matty Singh. Cowboys on their 20. They were staring down the barrel of 5 tries against them. Offload Fayumu away for Williams. And Williams almost back to the 40. Cowboys into the field. Thurston from dummy half. Another run out of that mark and makes 10. Last tackle Cowboys. Fayumu, they attack the short side. Matty Bowen with a kick for the corner. Greenshields getting across. He'll let this one go over the sideline. 34 gone. Friday night football on Channel 9 and 22-0 to the Dragons. Home team doing it tough in Nine's Friday night football. They got plenty of points in them. But what about the work here of Matt Singh on this break by Matt Cooper? Inside ball, that's the extender arm of Joe the Gadget Man. His arms aren't that long, Phil.
Mr. Incredible, I think, the modern day heroes, aren't they, Mr. Incredible? They've got the extender arms.
Some sort of mechanical device around his shoulder, I think. We know the Cowboys can score points. We saw them score 36.5 against the Bulldogs back in round 12. And a lost ball there and they play the ball. Here's the chance they want. 5 out from half-time. Corey Payne, first involvement. Back from injury. Comes up with an error. Once you lose control of it with the feet at the ruck, it counts as an error.
I think it's tough. I know what you're saying, but I still think it's tough.
It's not according to the rules, is it? He has played it backwards eventually.
Once it goes forward off the foot.
Show me in the rules where it says that.
They'll do that at half-time. Here's Carl Webb. 15 metres from the line. With it is Mitchell Sargent. Sargent gets inside the 10. Sargent has lost the ball. Trapped on the boot of Jason Riles. That was cool work. Now they run down the left side. Nguama's away. Singh's getting across there. Jensen also to make the tackle. Furman comes over the top. No dramas with his challenge. Dragons away. Jason Riles again. Riles flicks it around the corner. Batted on Nguama to Hornby. Mander claims the ball had travelled forward somewhere in all of that.
Yeah, Nathan Brown will be a little bit disappointed in the last 6 or 7 minutes of the Dragons. This side of the field, Mark Gasnier threw a pass that was intercepted by Fayumu. Now Jason Riles getting a pass away. We're getting close to half-time. They've got a great lead. You just don't want to jeopardise that by giving the opposition something close to the break. And the Cowboys will now try and capitalise. Thurston is tackled just inside the opponent's half, and Rod Jensen gets some running repairs to the nose.
Now with O'Donnell, by the way, it's Inspector Gadget with the arm. Joe the Gadget Man, his arms were fine.
I didn't know where you were
He just run a handy-in segment on Channel 9, didn't he? 30 metres out from the line. Used to watch him in the old coal store in the city. Fayumu up for Tronk. His arms were fine. Furman away. He's pretty clever though. Here's Webb. 22 metres from the line. And in defence for the Dragons is Craig. Cowboys desperate for points. Coming up to half-time. Furman straight over his head. Play on for North Queensland. They circle the Cowboys halfback. Kept alive. Fayumu for Tronk. All flat-footed. Tronk offloads. Furman batted on by Fayumu. In the hands of Bowen. Bowen steps away from two. How do you do that? Over the top it comes. Juggled by Webb. He's 15 out. Now he's 10 out. And the ground he goes 8 metres from the line. The last tackle for North Queensland. Jensen. Bowen. Little kick for himself. Bowen's getting through. Ball grounded by Michael Lennis. Line drop out. St George Illawarra.
And this is the pressure the Dragons have now put themselves under. Some ill discipline with the football. Matt Bowen trying to get his team on the scoreboard there to give them a kick start. Ben Hornby looks, well, in fact, Matt Cooper still having trouble with that dislocated finger, the one he dislocated earlier. I also don't think the teammates will mind too much if they have a slow restart here, being under a little bit of pressure defensively.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. First half, Nines Friday night footy. 22-0. Cowboys with an opportunity here. Tronk and, that was bordering on dangerous. Upended there in the tackle. 31 metres from the line. Furman for Sargent. Sargent with a run. But held in the tackle there of Payne. 25 from the line. Thurston patrolling the left. He's got O'Donnell. Cuts out O'Donnell. Bowman! Bowman for the line. Steps the fullback. Steps Mander. The referee. And scores the try. The veteran of the side answers the call for his team. It's 22-4.
Something. We're on the board. 22-6 gives them something to work with. A great ball delivered to Paul Bowman. When you've got players coming at you like that and you're in defence, it's hard to pick. They come up, we freeze it there. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3 defenders up against 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a matter of the right ball being delivered as play continues, and it is. It's put on the chest of Paul Bowman. He's at speed, slices back inside, gets around Greenshield. Best can't save him. And Paul Bowman, his 8th of the season.
No man has played more games for the Cowboys than Paul Bowman. Debut midway through their first year in 95. Josh Hannah. Big points all here 2 weeks ago. 20 points against the Panthers. His first kick of the night. 22 points to 4. And 10 metres out. 22-6. Let's go down to Matty John, sideline.
Well, 22-0, give no one a chance. But the thing about the Cowboys, got some exciting players, plenty of points in them. They go into the sheds, get their heads together, make sure they score next.
They've been beaten only twice at home this year. I just think their bench has made an enormous difference tonight. Fayumu on screen. There's still encouragement from the fans. There's still hope. We're not going to get a restart of play after that try from Bowman. So, what a start to the night for the Dragons. They went try Timmins. They followed up try Young, try Cray, and kept it going all the way to 22-0. But Bowman comes up, sends out a message just before half-time. The message is, we're still here, this is our home turf, and this ain't over. 4 tries to 1, half-time, Dragons 22, Cowboys 6. And Nines Friday night football to continue after this break. Holden half-time tonight. Our VB player cam on Brett Furman. All the first half highlights, and there were plenty of them. And Matty Johns and Phil Gould talking tactics. Stay with us. Friday night football on the 9 Network. Back into the thick of it. Young, high ball there for Barrett. Barrett for Sims, trying to stand and offload. Good tackle Thurston did. Off it comes for Thompson. He's got Best on his outside. Bowen tries to hold up Thompson. 2 strike.
Friday night football here on Channel 9. Can you believe what you've seen? It's absolutely unbelievable. The St George Illawarra Dragons, they're just getting better and better every week. Matty Johns, that's been an absolutely awesome first half. 22 points to 6. They dominated possession 76-24 in the early stages. It evened up a little bit at the back end of that first half.
Yeah, it did, Gus. I mean, the Dragons have been absolutely awesome. One thing about, if there's a side that can turn a game on a coin, it's the Cowboys, the likes of Bowen, the likes of Thurston. They need to get their little men in the middle of the field. You're right. There's no little men, there's no big men to run at. So they've got to get the little guys in there.
Yeah, this will be a test for the Dragons. They've been very, very good tonight in the first 40 minutes. They've got to back it up in the second 40 minutes. The finals are only 4 weeks away, boys. You can't go quiet now. Our player camp tonight, we decided to have a look at the new halfback for the North Queensland Cowboys, Brett Furman. You spent some time with him at the Sharks?
Yeah, look, for Furman, the trouble tonight has been his defence. They're losing the ruck, and as a consequence, the likes of Ben Cray are getting one-on-one matchups against him, and he's really struggling. He's getting caught on the back foot. Hasn't had a lot to do in attack. He's been running the ball a little bit, but not a lot to do, Gus. Not a lot to do tonight.
Now, Matty Johns, the player I think that really stamped his authority on the game early was Luke Bailey. They've had plenty of good players, but the big men up front have got to start it rolling, and this fellow was absolutely outstanding.
Just rolling through the middle. We saw it last week. We've seen it again this week. He and Bailey, the best front row in the competition.
If you're Graham Murray, what are you saying to the Cowboys at this stage? That's just been an awesome first half where nothing they wanted to do has gone right for them.
Well, it's hard, Gus, because you need to chase points. However, you don't want to lose your structure. You don't want to lose your nerve, lose your focus. I'd say he'll be saying to his guys, they've got to be a little bit more enterprising in attack. However, less errors, more energy in defence, and let the points look after themselves.
I think the thing he's really got to emphasise at this stage is to forget about the scoreboard, forget about the clock. There's still a long way to go, not only in this game, but in the whole competition. What they do in the next 40 minutes will help them the next time they come up against the Dragons, probably in September.
Look, one thing about when you play up at North Queensland, the humidity creeps up on you. They've got to remember that. If they can get their completions up, get a little bit more ball, hey, I'll tell you what, they can get back into this game, Gus.
Well, let's have a look at how the Dragons got their points on the board, and it was a holocaust early. The first one had a little bit of luck to it with a grubber kick that'll actually ricochet off a Cowboys player, picked up by Sean Timmins, scores underneath the post. But the second one was very soft.
Oh, look, Gus, I could not believe how soft they were in the middle early on. The big crowd, the big atmosphere, a big challenge, and look how loose they are. Now, that's unbelievable.
The third try, again, just came down to sheer power and class out here on the edges. Just watch this ball from Ashton Sims. Out the back to Gaznia. Big man on little man. Pops it out the back. Big man on little man again. Thompson will just burst through Thurston and Bowen and put the ball down over the line. And the next try was really big man on little man again. Oh, this is a try to the Cowboys. Now, that gap between Gaznia and Best has been there for a month, but no other team has been able to find it. Very reminiscent of the Michael Crocker try. If you remember in State of Origin, Jonathan Thurston would have taken that out of Queensland camp and thrown it at Gaznia. Time in possession here early on, as I said, the Dragons 88-12. That's where they started to score their points. At the back end, the Cowboys got a little bit of ball, but they needed it badly because they were struggling.
They are. Look, Gus, I still maintain, I don't think this game's over. The Cowboys, look, they need to score next, no doubt about it, but they've got the players who can score points. And I tell you, they've got a big pack of forwards, St George. They can't fatigue in this heat and humidity.
I think Nathan Brown's got a job too. He sides well in front at half-time, but they don't want to slacken off either. If they do, they can invite these Cowboys back into the game. Now, if you want to get all your rugby league news, MMS snapshots, NRL. This is great. Text NRL to 1991 5555, and every Saturday night and Sunday you'll receive results, photos and match reports all sent to your mobile phone. NRL MMS snapshots. It's more than just a score. You didn't see that little mistake, did you? Yeah, everyone did. Okay. All right, we'll be back after the break with all the second half action. Stick with us. Channel 9's Friday Night Football. It's an absolute beauty.
Oh, what a break from the Holden team.
Now this takes courage.
Bang.
The same bus trip, even the same seat.
A wave of fear.
Australians defy the London bombers.
You've got to stand up against them.
Their stories really will make you proud.
I'm still standing. Come on, so much.
And just look at Goldie Hawn's little girl now.
Wow.
Kate Hudson makes the Hollywood A-list.
I'm okay with that.
Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Turn it up, dog. Now, Goldie. No.
New German engineered 2-litre Ford Focus. Smooth as.
Kiss me.
These Oprah funks are great. They're comfy. The only problem is they keep coming off.
Last two. Come on, boys.
At Nick Scali Furniture, by popular demand, 4 years interest-free has been extended until 5 p.m. Sunday. Buy furniture now and pay it off over 4 years interest-free. Offer definitely ends 5 p.m. Sunday at all Nick Scali Furniture stores.
I can't believe you treat me like this. I'm not putting up with it. It's over.
Lynx deodorant all-over body spray. Show them the way.
What makes people all over the world so sure? Millions of promises kept every day. We at Allianz Australia provide you with some of the best insurance solutions, as Allianz Group does for over 60 million customers worldwide.
Turn it up, dog. No.
New German engineered 2-litre Ford Focus. Smooth as.
Friday Night Football, brought to you by VB for a hard-earned thirst. 4 and 20, the great Australian taste. Amy, lucky you're with Amy. BP Ultimate, more performance, less pollution. Hole Proof. Bundaberg Rum, real fans. And Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning.
Nines Friday Night Football in Townsville. A little over 40 minutes ago, they stood in the dressing room just like this, not knowing that they were going to lead 22-0 at some stage. It was a team high in confidence, high in skill, high in power, and, well, who's to say they won't win the competition on this form?
Well, Andrew, the last month, go back to Manly, they led 24-0. Cronulla, 20-0. Even though it was 6-all at half-time against the Roosters, it was 26-6 early in the second half. Tonight, they led 22-0. Exploding out of the blocks in the last month, this side. And now the job to be done by the Cowboys. Matt Bowen getting some advice at Kelly Egan, former North Sydney player. Part of the coaching staff up here, just geeing his players up.
There is still work to be done for St George Illawarra. Leading by 22 points to 6. Trent Barrett on screen. Captain has been strong tonight. Where's Nguama? Down that left wing has had a few opportunities. Also landed 3 conversions off the boot. Mark Yazzie, not quite the touches of recent weeks, but that's been of the paranormal. Jason Riles up front. Big first half, 13 hit-ups, 9 tackles. Clint Greenshields at the back, good under the high ball. It's hard to find too many errors in this St George Illawarra team.
I do think Nathan Brown will have been disappointed with their last 10 minutes. They invited the opposition back in. Some uncharacteristic, well, some passes that they probably threw 12 months ago, but not in the last month. I'm sure we won't see them in the first 10 or 15 of this second stanza.
A little deceptive. We saw the Cowboys appear to leave the dressing room. They've kept their opponents out there waiting. Now they return as if they're late for the dance. They put a sprint on to get in. Thurston led the team out for the second half. Thomas Norton will remain on the bench to begin this second 40 minutes. Carl Webb, no great impact in that first half. In his first match since State of Origin number 2. But this is a team capable of scoring many points. I mentioned that game not so long ago against the Bulldogs, 36 in one half of football. Rod Jensen is battle scarred tonight. Right cheek on the bridge of his nose as well. And Ben Cray, one of the try scorers from that first half. We are ready for the second half. Here in Townsville, Nines Friday Night Footy. Where's Nguama? Kicks long and a little juggle and a step back from Furman. Almost to the dead ball line. Only centimetres in it. Sargent with a carry back and will play it 8 metres out from the line. And now the second charge is from Tronk. Sims ran up to make the tackle, didn't quite get there in time. Timing wasn't there. Now Fayumu, he's got this step. A really dangerous dummy half. Bowen on the back of the Fayumu offload, and Bowen slips the ball. For Jensen, outside the 40. Cowboys in possession. Bowen with the ball. Away to O'Donnell. Encouraging start to the second half. Barrett there with Riles. And they are 48 metres from St George Illawarra's line. 4 tackles gone. Thurston with a run. Thurston with a step. He's 25 from the line. Away from Matt Bowen. That's what they can do. They can really turn it on up here. Try just before half time. Followed up with a 4-pointer. First set of 6 after the break. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. 22-10.
And the referee, Tim Mander, was telling Justin Paul that he was offside. Told him to stay out of the play. Justin Paul reversed out of the defensive line, and that opened up the gap. He frees it there. Watch this man. Watch him retreat. He's been told by the referee you're offside, so he comes out of the defensive line and gifts a try. Thurston was good enough to take advantage. Bowen, well, he's always supporting. 22-12, all of a sudden it's a different ball game. Nathan Brown will tell his players, if you're called offside, make the tackle anyway, give away the penalty.
Well, I think they were looking for the Cowboys man who played the ball to be penalised for moving off the mark. We saw Mark Gasnier penalised by Tim Mander a couple of weeks ago when he walked off the mark. Well, this Cowboys player walked off the mark, and I'm sure Mander said he shortened the 10, no advantage. He ended up being an advantage.
He did shorten it because he nearly dropped it. He wasn't walking off it, he nearly dropped it, and that took him forward.
But he's still got to go back to the mark, surely.
Hannay successful. Here they come. 12 straight points to the Cowboys. 22-12.
Let's just have a listen, see if we can get Tim Mander here with his call on this play the ball.
You're up this. No, he shortened it. Get out of it. Justin, you're out. Right now.
Well, that's what you hear. You hear two decisions there by Tim Mander. Number one, he didn't walk off the mark, and he said to the Dragons players who complained, no, he shortened it, no advantage. And then he immediately said to Justin Paul, you're offside, as Peter Sterling told you. Paul pulled out of the play, and Thurston just took the play. Here come the Cowboys.
Now, Mitchell Sargent with the ball. Mander's instructions, you're out, and said you're right now. It was a little too late. Thurston had already stepped him. We saw it last Saturday night at Suncorp with Todd Carney called out, and Berrigan almost went straight over for the Broncos.
Well, it can't be a disadvantage to the Dragons if that fella has walked off the mark and shortened it. He's got to have then pulled it up for the original infringement. That's my belief.
Now Hannay with the ball will play it 25 metres out from the Cowboys' line. Singh runs from that point. Comes centre field, looking to get between Sims and Paul. Let's go down to the sideline, Matthew Johns.
Cowboys got the late mail out of the sheds at half-time. Nathan Brown, not surprisingly, was over the moon with his side. See the Cowboys working the way outfield. He wants them to continue the power game. No need to move the ball sideways. Graham Murray, he said to his side, lift your effort, lift your intensity, eliminate your mistakes, earn the right to be in the game.
First and away to Jensen. Offloads ball on the deck. Dragons desperate to get to it. They've come up with a football. But the Cowboys are playing some football.
Yeah, this is the unpredictability about it. I talked about before the game. Thurston with the chip kick there on tackle 5 instead of the bomb or the one to the corner they've formerly utilised. They've got some tricks, these fellas.
Superb desperation there by Clint Greenshields to be the man to come up with the football on the pass. Didn't find the mark.
Dragons with Ennis. They've really been woken up here. And Riles back quick hand from Ennis. And then for Porter halfway around his legs, Hannay. Crowd's lively now. Cowboys are in the contest. Ennis kicks from dummy half. In the modern game, 10 points is nothing. Ball goes touch and goal. Cowboys get 20 metres head start.
Look, there has been a criticism of the Dragons in that past month. It's the fact that they didn't go on with the job against Manly and Cronulla. 20-10 against the Sharks was a false indication of how superior they were. They did do it against the Roosters last week. But in previous weeks, when they had match-winning leads, they didn't really put the opposition under the hammer.
And up come the Cowboys. O'Donnell, he will play it just short of that 40-metre line. Fayumu in for Tronk. I say it again, these bench players, they're doing more than what was expected of them tonight. They are driving this Cowboys team forward and back into the game. Fayumu for Furman, then on for Jensen. And held up there by Paul. Bailey ready to come back on for the St George Illawarra side. Furman's kick. Greenshields across for the Dragons, 10 metres out. Back he will come. Furman first there to make the tackle.
And this is going to sound weird. If I'm Nathan Brown, the Dragons coach, I'm actually glad this has happened. At 22-0 and cruising along, you don't want your players to think you're unbeatable. You're 4 weeks out from the finals. It's not going to be like that then. I'm sitting here saying, all right, I'm not happy that they've bounced back with 2 tries, but I am happy. I want to see us dig our way out of this.
40 metres away from their own line. Ennis up. Bailey straight back on. Straight back into the thick of it.
They're weird blokes, coaches, aren't they? Don't they think funny?
Former premiership winning coach Phil Gould giving us an insight into their weird minds. Here's Royals. He's 40 metres from the line. And Fayumu there again in defence. Now to the right with Barrett inside this time with Sims. He had Greenshields on his left. Couldn't get the pass away. Jensen the defender that time. Last tackle here with Barrett. This is a high one for Matty Bowen. Bowen underneath it in the field of play. Now there's a job for Matt Bowen. With the ball, Taylor's lost the ball. Bailey dives out. Bailey thinks he scored. Video referee's going to have the final say. But Bailey reckons he's got his 3rd try in 4 weeks.
And again, it's Clint Greenshields leading the way. Came up with the tackle, forced the mistake. We go to the man upstairs to find out whether that mistake has been severely penalised. Trent Barrett on the far side kicks the football. Now, there is one person on his immediate left who's offside. And I think he'll come within the 10. I think that Michael Ennis, number 17...
He pulls out. He pulls out.
Well, he still had some effect in the play. When the man catches it, he's within the 10, and he can't run the football where Michael Ennis has filled the hole.
Well, I would be surprised if Tim Mander didn't say you're offside for him to pull out like that. Tim Mander is already happy with that. I think the grounding is okay. Well, whether or not he's got his hand under the ball or over the top, they may have to have another look at that.
Well, my argument still is that Michael Ennis is offside. As we freeze it there, I'll circle him. Just watch that man. You can just see his head there. Watch him. Now he's offside. He comes within the 10. When Bowen catches the football, he can't run where Michael Ennis is. He looks at him. If Michael Ennis hadn't chased because he knew he was in front of the kicker, Matt Bowen wouldn't have been tackled 2-3 metres out from his own line. He's had an effect on the play, even though he has been called out.
It has to be offside, Phil. It's been the way they've carried out the rule over the last few years. Well, once Bowen touches the ball, if Ennis is inside 10 metres away, penalty.
All right.
No argument.
Well, then why didn't they just penalise Justin Paul for being inside the 10 straight away?
I don't disagree with that. Penalty, though, to the Cowboys here.
It's the same interpretation. It's an offside rule. The referee says you're offside, you stop and you let him go. But if the rule is you're offside as soon as they touch it, then Justin Paul should have been penalised and Matt Bowen hasn't got a try.
The defence rests. The prosecution rests.
Yeah, I've had enough of this.
I can't argue with that. Cowboys in possession, and they are in the game. 22-12. Dramatic second half. 7 minutes gone. Thurston away, and now with O'Donnell. O'Donnell there into pain. So they've got one leg, and still he's able to somehow crawl for another 5 metres. Tronk with it this time. And Tronk is tackled 42 metres from the line. Still Paul Rahihi on the bench for the Cowboys. He's been there since the first 15 minutes of the match. Thurston with a dummy and held up 35 away from the goal line. Fayumu for Bowen up in the line this time. Furman away for Sargent. Sargent runs back infield, gets inside the 30. Last tackle. They would love a big play right here. Bowen could provide it. There's his kick through. Greenshields there. Thurston was taken down. Chasing through. Greenshields is tackled. 5 out from the goal line.
He had plenty of options there, Matty Bowen. He chose the one he didn't want. He just kicked it straight to the fullback. No real pressure. He wanted it to the in goal. He wanted it to be a position where people could chase and make the tackle. Greenshields got it softly.
Corey Payne. Sean Timmins back out there now. Ashton Sims, the player replaced for the Dragons. They are with the ball. 20 minutes out from their line. Bailey, he joined us late, had 2 tries inside the first 10 minutes. They led 22-0 the Dragons. And look at it now, 22-12. In trouble for the Cowboys is Bowman. That is back inside the 30. One man down in the defensive line. Barrett steadies to kick. That's from inside the 40. Not quite the angle on it. Plenty of length on it though, and big bounce as well. We will break in Nines Friday night football. Troubles for Paul Bowman. Dragons leading 22-12. Coming to you tonight on Nines Friday night football from Dairy Farmers Stadium in Townsville. And Paul Rahihi has jogged back on. Bowman is running back to get in the line for the Cowboys. He appears to be okay. Rahihi ready for that first run straight away. On their 30. Thurston with the ball, switching it back inside for O'Donnell. And again, there's that wrestle. He's hard to get off his feet. They got one leg again. O'Donnell makes another 5. He can do it on one leg. Here's Rahihi. Second touch of the ball. He's been waiting for his chance. He was off inside the first 15. Fayumu offloads. And then the switch for Webb. Webb with a fend, almost away from one. Stood in the Cooper tackle. Quick hand from Furman for Jensen. Rocket Rod Jensen with the ball on his step. Cooper gets him from behind. Cowboys are coming. They're circling the wagons now. Here's Thurston. Back inside. Oh, Webb. Webb was hammered and lost the ball. I think it was Greenshields. What a tackle on a flying front rower.
Brilliant stuff by Clint Greenshields. We've seen him do some great things in attack. We've seen him catch some high balls. Here's the bust from Jensen. Shimmy in and away, pulls through with plenty of strength. And tackle from the ensuing play. Inside ball. This is Clint Green. This is the fullback. Clint Greenshields. Bang. Tackling a front row from the inside. Supporting his forwards, the slower players, to the inside pass. This kid's got it all.
Well, let's get them together then.
He's got it all. He does it with the ball and he does it without.
10 metres out from the line. A big push on the scrum from the Cowboys. Dragons with the ball. With the way the crowd is right now, you'd reckon it was 22 all. Gasnier. He's hit. He's contained tonight. 10-point margin. And now away for Craig. The defence is coming up. They're effective as well. Hannah low that time. Dragons only just outside their 20. Here's Timmins. Cut down there in the tackle of Hannah. 4 gone. They're only outside their 20. Now Riles, Rahihi came up. Lost the ball. Greenshields with it. Last tackle. 31 metres out from their own line. Big kick from Ennis. Really big kick from Michael Ennis. Over the head of Matt Bowen. Massive kick. It's gone 80 metres.
He fired that out of a cannon, didn't he? The Dragons aren't quite sure what to do at the moment. They're not quite sure whether they should be trying to score points or whether they should play conservative. They're doing a little bit in between and getting themselves into a rut. This is not the confident side that blazed away, firing all bullets at the opening stages of the game. This is a side that's suddenly become hesitant, and if you hesitate, you invite your opposition back into the game.
35 metres out from their own line. Carl Webb over the 40. Brings Cray in. Look at Carl Webb still go. Decides to say, have a piggyback on me. Riles, Ennis. Couldn't get him to ground. Now Fayumu. Offloads for Furman. Space on the left. Thurston away from Barrett. Thurston tackled from behind by Barrett. And lost the ball. Dragons back in possession. Thurston is filthy.
Yep, finding those gaps now that weren't present in the first half. The Cowboys, they've done everything wrong tonight. They look at the scoreboard, they're only 10 behind. That's their confidence builder. All of a sudden, that 22 points that was buoying the St George Illawarra side, it's starting to disappear.
Remember, this is the clash of 2 heavyweights. It's 3rd against 4th tonight. Level on 26 competition points. And now the run for Jason Riles. Inside ball. Got a touch. Knock on against the Cowboys. Bowen touched it. Furman fielded it. This will be a Dragons feed.
Lucky he's not called offside here. Beautiful burst by Riles. He's been dangerous. Tries to get it back on the inside. There's the hit from Bowman. Well, Furman was in front of him the whole time, and I don't think he ever retreated to where the ball was touched. Just looks like a simple offside to me.
Scrum feed, 30 metres out. Timmins breaks from the scrum. Tries to dash away from Jensen. Dragons with it. 20 metres from the line. Gasnier into dummy half. He runs, gets it to Greenshields. And Greenshields is hammered in the tackle of Webb. Not quite what Greenshields did to Carl. Here's Barrett with a run. Trent Barrett for the line. He's stretched out. If he's got it there, he got it just to the goal line. The try has been awarded. And Barrett has scored it, 26-12.
Been very physical tonight, Trent Barrett. You say week in, week out with him, when he plays that way, he plays his best football. Decoy runner there went through in front of him. The Cowboys, Jonathan Thurston raced in, was fooled by the... In fact, it was Rod Jensen, I'm sorry, raced in. And Trent Barrett, who normally looks to throw passes like that, is the recipient this time under Fayumu, carries Bowen over, and that's just what they needed, just to steady the ship.
He's powerful, isn't he? It was actually the good decoy run of Riles too. I know that Cray ran a good decoy to getting the ball on a second man, but Riles ran powerfully too. That just held up Jensen a little bit, expecting maybe that Barrett would dump it off onto the inside. Barrett was too powerful. That's all they needed. They needed to start a set of 6 down the other end of the field. The break from Riles and the knock-on by Bowen presented the opportunity, and the Dragons just fell straight back into their rhythm again. Good try.
Driver and co-driver is the strategy for the goal kickers for the Dragons. Nguama replaced there by Ennis. Matty John sideline at 28-12.
Yeah, been the story of the night, boys. Again, too loose around the rucks. Now, sometimes with the Cowboys, I feel they expend so much energy in attack, they don't make the transition in defence.
We pointed out tonight, 3rd against 4th. A win for one of these teams could see them go to 2nd on the ladder. A loss could see them fall to 6th.
Teams jockeying for position to the top 4 to have a home final. Bailey back. Got away from Jensen, ran into Hannay.
There'll be a lot of teams cheering the Dragons tonight because they won't want the Cowboys to have a home semi-final. I know the Dragons are handling it well tonight, but a win by the Dragons tonight is psychologically big for everyone in the competition if the Cowboys don't run in the first 4. It's how close this competition is, and you've got to take every advantage you can get. You don't want to be coming here in September.
Still 25 minutes left here tonight at 28 points to 12. And Dragons in possession. Timmins to play it for Ennis. Hornby can kick inside the 40 here, and he's got a bit on it too, Ben Hornby. Singh goes back for the Cowboys and picks it up 5 metres out from the line. He's got Bowen there, has a look at Bowen, decides to run and runs straight into Bailey and straight into Ennis. And now Bowen in the dummy half. Hannay back there. They're going to run it from that point. Williams skipping across field and then over the 20. Cowboys need to be the next scorer in this match. Momentum up until that try by Trent Barrett. It was going their way. Mitchell Sargent went down to the bench for North Queensland. So too Tronk. Southern has coughed it up. Quick turnover for the Dragons. Cooper offend, then gets away from another. Now steps into the tackle of Southern. 15 metres away from the line. Bailey has a run. Has a big run straight over the top of Jensen. Jensen was almost pushed into the grandstand. 10 metres away from the line. Cooper. Hornby. Across it comes. Timmins runs back in field. Straightens up. Looking for that little flick out the back. Ennis is there. Southern and Rohehe, the defenders. Ennis, 10 metres from the line. Hornby with Barrett, a step, and he's taken high by O'Donnell.
Oh!
Taken by Luke O'Donnell. Dragons kept them down. Sitting up now.
Made it look a lot worse.
And it appears penalty sufficient. 28-12, 16 in front, tempted to take 2 to make it 3 converted tries. Michael Ennis has got a problem out there with his left shoulder. A little bit of a bounce up, but still very high.
He said momentum made it look worse. If you take their head like that, it's always gonna please. Momentum made it look worse. You take him up, where are your legs gonna go?
Well, they have opted to take that 2 points.
Did he put him on report?
No.
You're kidding.
No, penalty sufficient.
Same last week. Same referee as the match with the Broncos. And Ben Cross wasn't put on report, later suspended. Michael Ennis has the shot at goal. How would you feel if you're West Nguama, Peter? He's the first choice kicker. Starts the match. Kicking well. Every week he gets replaced.
I'd say as long as he gets picked in first grade, he wouldn't care.
I reckon Wes Nguama's having the time of his life.
He's kicking at 81% though. And over comes the menace, Michael Ennis. I'm sticking up for Wes.
So he's going all right, Wes. Don't worry about Wes.
He still works the bar at the Leagues Club, Gus. He's not going that well.
He won't be working the bar for long.
He's 15 metres out from the line. Michael Ennis to make the margin 18 points. Michael Ennis successful. That's the main thing. He gets the 2, and it's 30-12. Nines Friday night football. 58 minutes gone. The Dragons, Nathan Brown, who I mentioned at the top of the coverage, turned 32 during the week. And in the 2 legs of their flight from Sydney to Townsville yesterday, every time we got on the flight, we had the person say, happy birthday, Nathan, happy 38th and 40th. He was about 45 by the time we got off the plane. I understand Timmins was the culprit behind that. Here's Bailey for the Dragons. Back to the 20-metre line. Just being strong again. Now for Thompson. Thompson into the Rohihi tackle.
Oh, speaking of birthdays, and Sean Timmins, 29 tomorrow.
Ennis with the ball. And across with Ben Cray, and collected there in the tackle of Hene. 15 metres short of halfway. Here is Ennis. Thompson takes the second run in the set. Payne just went in low. Thompson able to offload for Hornby. Hornby there and away from Southern. Great play. Greenshields. Barrett knocked down by Thurston. It's a long way out, but it may well have saved a try.
Oh, you've got to watch him. If he catches it, it's a try for himself. You've got to watch Jonathan Thurston. There's some fellas in this game. Brett Kenny was the best I ever saw. But David Peachy, Hazem El Masri, they can just make it look like they're really going to tackle you. You let it go, and all of a sudden they're there with their hand.
They mightn't have caught it, but it was 4-on-2. If it had found the outside men, plenty of speed out there with Colin Best as Gasnier tries to create something, shrugs off one.
Got away from Hene, now puts on the step, gets away from Furman, fends away from Singh. So strong, 25 metres out. Where's Nguama? Goes centre field, straightens up, and almost through the tackle of Webb. Quick play the ball. Ennis with it. Ennis finds a flying Trent Barrett. He offloads. Nguama doesn't come up with the ball. The Cowboys have got it. The Cowboys have possession. There's still a quarter of the match remaining. At 30 points to 12. Thurston quick hands. Across the line. Bowman quick as well for Ty Williams with a run. And back to the 20 they come. North Queensland in front of their home fans. Beaten only twice here this year in 9 outings. And Bowman to play, acting half his pain. And finds Furman. And it comes across now with Norton into the arms there of Cray and Thompson, the 2 starting second rowers for the Dragons. That is 25 away from the goal line of North Queensland. Well, he almost back to the 40 now for the Cowboys. Payne, he runs up over the 40, links up there with Furman, spun away from the attempted tackle of Timmins. Last tackle for North Queensland. They throw wide here for Thurston, chance to run. Thurston right up to the line, held there by Young, kept it alive for O'Donnell. O'Donnell keeps it alive for Little Matty. Bowen is caught. Bowen is caught on the last tackle changeover.
Well, Jonathan Thurston wanted to run the football, but Ty Williams got in front of him, and that forced him not to pass. Eventually, he had to throw the ball, and Matt Bowen was caught with it. Thurston will be disappointed that Williams overread the play because he wanted to have that option, which was taken away from him.
Shields up to halfway. And now Ennis on for Timmins. Scored the first try tonight for St George Illawarra. The match they led 22-0. Tronk is stirred again on the bench. The Giant awakes. Here is Barrett inside for Thompson. Thompson held. They are 35 metres from the line. They lead by 18 points. And Ennis kicks for the corner. Difficult bounce there for Williams. He lost his footing, but was able to recover sufficiently to gather the ball in.
He handled that well, didn't he? That could have been anything for the Dragons. He was wrong-footed. The ball fell awkward. He just reached back and got it with his left hand.
Now Matt Singh. Scoreline could be a lot worse, but for this man. For North Queensland. And a dummy half goes Ty Williams. Described by his coach last week as something remarkable. They need something remarkable now from Ty. Here is Southern. Back to halfway. Bailey and Ennis make the tackle. Last play for the Cowboys. Furman with it. Kicks down the centre. Greenshields chasing across. Is hoping for this ball to go dead. And dead it goes. Nines Friday night football will break with 18 remaining at 30 points to 12. In front of a full house tonight here in Townsville. Friday night football on Channel 9. They've averaged over 20,000 a game here this year, and they've done it again tonight. Crowd just over 21,000. They will keep coming. Their team is a good one. Cray with the ball and hit by Heno.
I was saying, Andrew, as we see Rod Furman's had a tough night. Just walking around Townsville today, a lot of Dragon supporters have made the effort to come up here as well tonight. I think you have to look through the crowd, there's plenty of Cowboys, but the Dragons well supported up here is Lance Thompson, rushing through tackle, still going.
This is a big run from Thompson and offloaded. Green shields away. Nguama couldn't get to it. Payne's offloaded. Thurstons with the ball for the Cowboys. Lance Thompson, no one could stop him.
Good defence there by Wes Nguama. This is a winger that's gone infield looking for the ball to score a try. He doesn't get the ball he wants. So instead of turn his back and go back to his wing, he actually chased it and came up with a very important save there on Jonathan Thurston. Great awareness. Heads up play by Wes Nguama. He's a good player.
Now away for Travis Norton, running at Cooper. And Cooper able to hang on in the tackle. Finished off by Timmins and Hornby. Hannay up, where he's got a full head of steam up and runs at Thompson. Desperate to pass, got it away. Payne may have been touched there by Cray. Back it comes for Heno. Wasn't played out, says Manda. He may have touched it, but he wasn't playing the football.
Well, the referee would have needed a call from a touch judge too. He was in a really bad position to call on that. Didn't get one, so it's play on.
Furman cut out ball for Bowen. There is Sing on his inside. And got away from Timmins. Set play. 45 metres from the Dragons line. They will keep attacking. Now Payne runs. Passes up. Thurston's okay. Back for Furman. They're 25 metres from the line. Last tackle. 15 and a half remaining, losing the ball. 30 points to 12. A chance for an attacking kick is squandered.
Must have been before that. Looked like a fairly standard play the ball, even though his foot mightn't have touched the ball. We can't be calling that, or we'll be calling 100 off. No, there it is there.
He's lost it there.
Good camera work to show us what actually happened.
It was a linesman's call. Timmy Manda said, good call, mate.
You're very good, Jonathan.
Jonathan Thurston has just tried to feed the scrum. It's a Dragons feed. Jonathan Thurston's put the ball in, and Tim Manda said, you're very good, Jonathan. You're very good.
Dragons are with the ball. And Young is the player, playing it outside the 20. Ben Cray with a run there at Norton and Furman. 15 inside Dragons territory. Ennis. Tackled by Furman. Right on the 40. Furman will get better in his third game for the Cowboys. Now Nguama. He's got away from two. Wes with the ball. Where's Nguama for Cooper? Sing is back there again.
Matty Singh.
Singh comes up with another beauty. Ennis ready on the right. Timmins for Barrett. He's already got one this half. Back now for Timmins. Over the top it comes. With it is Young. Out it comes for Colin Best. And Colin Best will run around and score. A wonderful try from St George Illawarra. Back on fire here in Townsville at 34-12.
Their leading try scorer this season gets another one. Also the man who's played every game for them, Colin Best. But it came from a bust from the other winger. Where's Nguama? Gets rid of Travis Norton with a fend at the end of it. And Matt Singh scores plenty, saves plenty. But he couldn't do anything on the far side of the field where they never had the numbers. Look at the amount of Dragons support players there coming back in. That attracted two in. Timmins did very well with the basketball pass. Young making a bird of it by finding Colin Best, who motions the put down, improves the position. Nathan Brown happy.
I think Nathan Brown loves being a coach now. Wonder what you'd have said. He'd have said round 6, when everyone said he had to get the sack. The side was going no well. Do you think he's enjoying himself at the moment?
Look, I think he's always enjoyed it. I think he's a born coach, but he's just matured and knows how to handle it a lot better these days. I don't mind seeing the emotion, especially on the sideline one day down at Wynn Stadium. I had no dramas with that, unlike a lot of other people. If I'm a St George Illawarra fan, I want my coach to show that kind of passion, that kind of commitment.
Yeah, you made a mistake. That's what you've got to do. This Dragons team, they've got skill all over the park. Every one of those players there, whether it was a back rower, a hooker, a half or a 5'8", a winger, a centre, every one of them handled their job to perfection. Brilliant skill. You've got to have skill in every position in the modern game. I think just the days of the workaholic and the bloke who can't catch and pass, they're gone.
Ennis with a conversion attempt. Another 2 for Michael Ennis. Dragons take charge. 36-12, Matthew John's sideline.
With Gus, skill kills. One of the pleasing things for Nathan Brown's the former son of the players who at the start of the year would you consider, probably fringe first graders. Colin Best, Wes Nagama, Clint Greenshields, amongst others. I suppose that's one of the keys to winning the title, is these players playing above themselves.
That's Michael Ennis kicking out about 82%. We'll check on that.
Here's Thurston from the restart.
If I'm Michael Ennis, I'm dirty Wes is getting the kick.
Just saying, Michael gets Wednesdays off. Wes is working the bar at the Leagues Club. Here's Hornby, away for Cray. Cray looking to offload.
He's been terrific, hasn't he, Ben Cray? Crikey, what a player.
Now Ennis. Away for Thompson. Thompson short of the 40, back for Ennis. Ennis now tries to straighten up. Tackle there by O'Donnell and Norton. 11 and a half minutes remaining. And Timmins with it. He goes over the 40. Looking to really finish off this match. Their attention is always diverted to for and against. They're looking to add to that the Dragons. Inside ball, Barrett to Thompson. Now the 5th tackle for the Dragons with Trent Barrett. Outside the 40, utilises the chip. Here comes Jastia. Doesn't handle. Well, he can do just about everything with the ball. Passes around the corner steps, but that time he just couldn't get a handle on the kick over the top from Trent Barrett.
Well, you think of the contribution Mark Gasnier had last week to putting the sword to the Roosters. I mean, they scored 44 points to 6, and Gasnier was in absolutely everything. He hasn't been in that much tonight. He had a hand in the second try, but he hasn't been in that much, but still they've racked up 36 points, and there's 10 minutes left on the clock. And if I'm Nathan Brown, I'm really pleased that they went through that tough period and came out the other side there. They're not playing slouches. They are playing the Cowboys in front of a full house. They're not playing slouches. And the Cowboys came hard at them in the second half, and the Dragons just turned them away.
Now Tronk will play it. 41 metres out from the line. Furman with it. Inside for Southern. Southern was losing control of the ball. Thompson thought it was a knock-on. Gave a little indication to the touch judge. Last tackle. Here's Bowen. Stepped away from Bailey. Kept alive. Thurston out the back. Without looking, was knocked down by Barrett. Play on for the Cowboys. Play on it is indeed for Bowman. Bowman, 12 minutes from the line. The tackle count has restarted and then offloaded. And Greenshields comes out and runs into the bruised brother Steve Southern.
That has been one of the features of tonight's play for the Cowboys. Some of the hits Steve Southern has put on.
Bowen is limping for the Cowboys. He's not at fullback. He's out at left wing. Ty Williams has gone to fullback. And Matty Bowen, very ginger, the number 1 for North Queensland. And Colin Best up for Young. Young gets inside the Cowboys half. And now Michael Ennis had a little look up, thought about running. Passes there for Hornby, the dummy. Back into trouble, and Southern almost got another one away. 41 metres from the Cowboys goal line. Now Ennis gets a chance to run for Hornby. Hornby needs another to pass to. Greenshields he finds. Now for Barrett. And closed down by Furman and Norton. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. Ennis, Dean Young, short side play. Getting across is Ty Williams. Good bounce for him. Ty Williams is held by Cooper. And Naguama. And that's in. Throws a high ball there. That was a tough one for Hene. Getting that above your head 5 metres out from the line.
He looks very ordinary out there, Matt Bowen. Really struggling. Kind of hard to work out what the problem is too. So Sean Timmins, unfortunately, and he is limping off. So here's Bowen with the football running it okay now, so he may well have recovered. Sean Timmins in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, he's challenged at the back there on Ty Williams. He went in and just caught his knee in an awkward position as Ty Williams sort of ducked into the tackle not to get driven back into the end goal. Another turnover, Cowboys.
Bowen now leaving the field as well as Hornby throws it over the sideline.
Over the sideline from Ben Hornby. We'll break and come back for the final 8 minutes here in Townsville. We'll get a report on Sean Timmins. It's 36-12, Nines, Friday night football. Townsville, the venue, Friday night football at 36-12. The Cowboys on the back of that scrum win with Thurston up for Norton. Bowen still out there for North Queensland. Now Singh at a dummy half.
Now, Bowen's actually gone to the bench now, and he's getting the groin iced up. They haven't taken him inside at all. I doubt that he'll be back for the final 8 minutes. Too valuable to risk.
Pain away for Rauhihi. He just refuses to be tackled at the moment. He's offloading everything. Not all quality necessarily from Paul Rauhihi. He's Tronk. He's 22 from the line. And he will play it. Held up by Barrett. Payne to the right with Furman. Furman for Norden. Norden angles back infield, kept it alive on the bounce. Second bounce scooped up there by Payne. Across field, he just decides to kick. Knocked down by Best. That was clever play. He knew what he was doing, Colin Best. Matty Bowen on the bench. So Bowen off, Timmins off. 2 stars for their respective teams. On Sunday, every match this weekend has a bearing on the finals. And Sunday, it is Sea Eagles against the competition leaders, the Broncos. You Manly fans, get along to Brookvale and get all the support they can get. If you can't be there, watch it on Channel 9, 4 o'clock Sunday. Here is Sims, and he had the arm free, but no support player there. Right on the 40, Ennis will kick. He was under pressure from Rauhihi too.
He was looking for Ben Cray, and Ben Cray's having a rest on the bench. He'd have been there. He'd have been right on that right arm there looking for the offload. He's had a great game, Ben Cray, tonight. He wasn't there when Ashton Sims needed him.
And across they come in field, and then straightening up is Bowman. He went across, straightened, and now penalty for the Cowboys.
Yeah, flop there from Justin Paul coming in over the top after Michael Ennis had made a very important tackle. Bowman showed some good footwork to get through the first defensive line. Brett Furman finds touch inside the 20.
So Cowboys on the attack with 5.5 minutes remaining. Thurston for Payne, then for Tronk. And Tronk runs at Justin Paul. 15 metres from the line. There's a couple of balls out there at the moment. Rauhihi with it for the Cowboys. He gets right up to the left upright. And will play it. Thompson there with Ashton Sims. Dummy half is Payne. Scoops it up. Back for Furman. Furman has a little dash at them. And is held up by Paul. He's got him offside. Referee Tim Mander. Penalty right on the goal line. They can take it back as far as they want. The Dragons must stay on their goal line. Payne with a tap. Up for Tronk. He just has another run. Soaks up one tackle. 36 to 12. Payne here for Southern. He takes a run at them. It's a pretty basic game plan, this last passage of play for the Cowboys. Back inside for Norton. Norton 5 metres out. Payne, that is ball and all stuff, that tackle. 8 metres from the line. And then up for Rauhihi again. Another power play, charge forward and held, and in fact tried to offload again. Dragons come up with the ball. I've got to say I don't understand any of that from the Cowboys.
No, maybe fairly ordinary set of 6 there, but also give some credit to the St George Illawarra defence. I said Nathan Brown wouldn't be happy with their finish to the first half. He'd be very happy with the finish to the second half, keeping their line intact there against a team so good with the football normally. Guama now makes it 15 metres out inside the final 5 minutes.
But Peter, the theory on the Cowboys in rugby league circles is that they're more dangerous from 40 metres out than they are from 10 or 20 metres out. Once they get into your 20, they tend to get a little bit flat-footed and just look for the one-pass wonder. When they're out there in the open and they've got the unpredictability of a chip kick or a dummy or a step, they're nowhere near as dangerous 10 metres out from the line as they are 40 metres out from the line.
Colin Best is dangerous anywhere these days, but unfortunately he's put his foot on the line or into touch. The touch, as I said, that touched the chalk, his boot.
We're in the process of redeploying the troops on that side of the field, the Cowboys. They've taken Bowman off, the left centre, and sent David Fayumu out there. But Fayumu was trying to get Rod Jensen to win, so they were real mixed up on the left. While all that happened, Barrett thought there was an opportunity. Penalty to the Cowboys. Against Green Shields.
Back here.
And back on the mark. Thurston away for Southern. Another straight run.
He's been really good tonight, Steve Southern. He's tried his heart out. So have all his teammates, but he's been very good in what he does.
30 tackles from Steve Southern. Top of the count for North Queensland. 12 metres away from the line. Out of dummy half goes Payne. Back for Ty Williams. On for Rauhihi. He keeps it alive for Thurston. We've got an overlap. Thurston over the top. And over in the corner goes Rob Jensen. Pride of the Cowboys. It's a late one. And it all helps in that points differential battle. 36-16.
It does indeed. Wasn't much between them, and Jensen gets across. And Matt Johns with the injured Sean Timmins.
Yeah, boys, down here with Sean Timmins. Timo, first of all, the injury, how serious is it?
Yeah, no, it's all right. I just buckled my ankle. It stung a bit at the start, but it's settling down now, so it should be sweet.
Some sort of performance tonight?
Yeah, it was. We got off to a good start, which really helped. We didn't think that was going to happen. We thought it was going to be real tight, but we've been defending well, and we're sort of letting them score a couple of tries late at the end, but it was a pretty impressive win.
Well, it's been Gazzy and Cooper, the guys out wide that did the damage last week, but tonight, the forwards, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, the front rowers are enormous. Rolls in Bales have been playing well every week, so if they can keep doing that, we've got the backs that can score some tries, so it was a good night.
Thanks for your time, Timo.
Well, Jensen now 10 tries off the bench for the season. Jensen and Widders, they're the two try-scoring specialists coming off the bench. Widders has got 8 for the year. Jensen into double figures, and here's Henne's kick. Has struggled of late. Try and ride him home here. In fact, he's kicking at just over 60% this year. 25 metres out, half a metre in from touch. Josh Henne is unsuccessful. 36-16.
So if Wes Naguama came to the Cowboys, who'd do the goal kicking?
If I said you were argumentative, you'd argue with that.
Well, here's an illustration of what Gus was saying, that they are more dangerous further away from the try line than close, and Jensen gets across out wide. He's an everywhere man for them. Does well when he comes off the bench. I want to thank players like Sean Timmins and the coaches and that as well, who talked to us during the course of a match. It's straight from the horse's mouth. Can't get any closer to the game than that. And we do appreciate their effort in allowing us that time.
What about that? Nathan signing autographs, one of the referee's assistants before full time, and now Tronk comes back for the Cowboys. The final stages of this match. The Cowboys fans came here with high hopes, and they ran into the red hot Dragons, who are really going places. Thurston tops the last tackle for the match. And if I can say on behalf of the Dragons fans watching tonight and the players, that one is for Stoney. An emotional week for the Dragons ends in victory here in Townsville, 36-16. They advance to 28 competition points. They have scored 6 tries to 3, and at one stage tonight led 22-0. It's 4 in a row for St George Illawarra in the 2005 Telstra Premiership. Let's go down on the ground with Matthew Johns.
Yeah, boys, are down here with Benny Hornby. Ben, great performance tonight.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, the first half really set up for us, and you know, we had periods where we dropped off a bit, but our defence held us, you know, pretty strong.
Last week you moved the ball around a lot. Tonight kept it in tight, started the roll.
Yeah, we thought they might be trying to, you know, clock onto us moving it wide, so we decided to, you know, channel up the middle third. So just try to switch it up a bit, and it worked okay for us.
Now, what about yourself? I mean, you're a fullback, but you made a great transition to halfback. You enjoying it?
Yeah, I am. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Obviously, a lot of my junior days was in the halves, and I probably didn't play as well as I'd hoped. So that experience is, you know, holding me in good stead now.
Good on you, Benny. Okay, we're going to have a talk to Trent Barrett, boys. Just talking to the trainer here, having a Gatorade. Trent, how are you, mate? How'd you pull up?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. We took the pedal off a little bit at the end, but great win to come up here. We haven't won up here for a long time, and it was a really great first half.
I mean, you're at a grand final in the year 2000, but I mean, at the moment, is this the best the St George Illawarra franchise has played?
I think we're playing with a lot of passion. We're playing with a lot of patience, which we haven't done for a long time. And you know, we just got to keep improving. You know, there's a long way to go yet. And, to come up here, great win for the boys, and I'm sure we'll have a few beers, and they deserve it tonight.
Spoke about it before. I mean, the forwards were fantastic. The key players are going great, but players like Best, Nagama, having great season.
Yeah, they are. You know, you need a full squad of 20 blokes playing well, and that's what we've got at the moment. And you know, we're blessed to have such strike out wide. And, we've just got to keep it going, mate.
You're going very well. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Back to you, boys.
And the Dragons in the huddle there. They play the Broncos next up. How big will that be next Sunday at Suncorp Stadium? You'll see it on Channel 9.
Come on, Bruce.
Potential to have 30, 40,000 there at Suncorp next Sunday, maybe more. Certainly worthy of it. They've played some classics up there. It's a happy camp here in Townsville tonight.
Well, a month ago, there was still a question mark about them being in the quarterfinals. They will be there. They're just in the kind of form that ensures that will be the case.
Back down to Matthew Johns.
Standing with the ball, Luke Bailey. What about that one, Bales? What's your thoughts?
That was one of the toughest ones all year. Just the weather up here, the humidity, it was hard to get used to, but the boys stuck well through the middle, and we threw some ball out our arse, and luckily we scrambled.
You can say arse, it's after 9:30. Mate, what about the form of the side at the moment? I mean, you don't like to get too far ahead of yourself, but I mean, you must eye a title.
That's right, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, mate. We had a good win tonight, we had 3 good wins, but we got one of the best teams in the comp next week. We talk it up, and then, we get showed up by them. So, mate, we're just on our game and, learning week by week, and all the disciplines going together, and, we're going well.
Thanks for your time, Bull.
All right, thanks, mate.
Only their second win in the history of the St George Illawarra club here in Townsville. They've done it in style tonight. 20-point margin, 36-16. We go back into the sheds with Luke Bailey. Still plenty more to come in Nine's Friday Night Football. The $1,000 Bundy Rum Man of the Match. To the dressing rooms we will go. We'll check on the fitness of Matty Bowen, most importantly. And we preview Sunday's match between Manly and the Broncos. Friday Night Football. The beaten tonight, the Cowboys, but they will bounce back. They're a good side. 36-16, the Dragons the winners here. Quite what Greenshields did to Carl. Here's Barrett with a run. Trent Barrett from the line. He's stretched out. If he's got it there, he got it just to the goal line.
The Dragons tonight have become just a third team to come to Dairy Farmers and leave with the competition points. They did it in emphatic style. 36 points to 16. They led 22-0 at one stage. For the winners, Best, Barrett, Young, Craig, Thompson and Timmins all got tries. Naguama and Ennis both kicked 3 goals. While for the home team, Bowen, Bowman and Jensen got 4-pointers. Josh Hannay, 2 from 3. Phil Gould, what did you think about tonight?
Very impressed with the Dragons forwards, Peter. Over the last couple of weeks, it's their backs that have been getting all the raps. We got here to Townsville today. The back page of the Townsville Bulletin was Paul Rahihi saying, whoever wins the battle of the forwards will win. The Dragons did, and they won, yeah. Look, I think the Cowboys were a little bit underdone. When you think about it, Rahihi and Webb were coming back from injury. Norton and Southern haven't had a lot of football. Brett Furman's new to the club. Josh Hannay's had a sort of up and down season with injury. I think it was a little bit early to be calling the Dragons on in the sort of form that they're in. They'll be a lot better come finals time. I still think that the Broncos, the Dragons and the Cowboys are the 3 teams in this premiership race, and I think the Cowboys will be a lot better when they meet later in the year.
Yeah, nothing underdone about St George Illawarra at the moment. Their best tonight is with Matthew Johns.
Well, the $1,000 Bundy Rum Man of the Match goes to a young player who's had a wonderful month, Clint Greenshields. Enjoy that tonight?
Yeah, it was a good win. It was excellent, mate. Really good feeling up here. Good crowd. Yeah, loved it.
Great start.
Yeah, it was good. Now next week, Broncos. So, yeah.
I've spoke to plenty of the boys after the game how good the side's going. What about yourself personally? I mean, I believe you had 2 knee reconstructions. The doctors told you to give it away at 20. Yeah. Now tell us about that.
No, it was pretty disappointing in Brisbane. I had a pretty bad run, but I come down, did some good rehab, had a year off, and come back a bit stronger. And I'm really enjoying it. The last couple of weeks, it's been showing me footy,
Congratulations, you're going fantastic. There's your $1,000 from Bundy Rum. Rub it on the knees, mate. Apparently it's good for it.
Thanks a lot, Bundy. And thanks, Channel 9.
He's a great advertisement for belief and determination. Many players would have given it away, but Clint Greenshields, he's been fantastic for them in the last couple of weeks in all areas, as you mentioned tonight, Gus, with the football and without.
I was really impressed with some of his defence tonight when he had to make it. He's playing behind a very good side at the moment. His forwards are going forward, his halves are creative, he's taking advantage of the opportunities, but it's when he's asked to take the high ball or fall on the loose ball or make a tackle near the line, he's up there in the line doing it. The other players love him, and the fact that he's playing well has negated the move from Hornby from fullback to halfback at the loss of Matthew Head. It's all worked out perfectly for the Dragons.
Yeah, very well-balanced football team at the moment. Let's stay down in the Dragon sheds with Matt.
Yeah, down here in the Dragon shed. First on the injury report, good news for the Dragon supporters. Apart from Sean Timmins with a minor ankle strain, everybody is fine and will be right for next week against the Broncos. Standing here with the coach, a very happy coach, Nathan Brown. Brownie, I mean, we're at this side really starting to mature.
Yeah, we're playing pretty patient footy, which is good, and we had a bit of a slow start after half-time, and the Cowboys come out well, but I was just happy that we turned it around and got back in the contest, and fortunately end up having a good win.
You lost Matthew Head a little while ago. I mean, the transition, Clint Greenshields to fullback, Ben Hornby to halfback, has it gone better than expected?
Well, it's sort of funny that as a coach, like Greeny, we knew he could play, like he was a standout in reserve grade and he played 2 or 3 games the year before, but in our wildest dreams we didn't think that he was going to be as dominant as what he is, so we knew Benny would do a good job, but how good was Greeny going to go? We knew he'd be solid, but we didn't know he'd do as well as he's going.
Why so consistent now? I mean, in the past, inconsistent, win one, lose one. This year, just...
I think we started to turn that corner a little bit last year, and I think the fact that Trent and Rolsey and Gaz and those blokes have matured as people has made them mature as footballers.
Mate, through the week, the passing of Robert Stone, before the game, the boys got in the huddle. Was that a motivating factor?
Yeah, we made a point of not using Stoney's death as a motivation because he's just such a wonderful man, but we did talk about when they took the coffin down the aisle and that at the church, how everyone that walked behind it was all the players that they won a comp with, so they must have had a real special bond, and it's 26 years down the track, and there was Craig Young and all those blokes with tears in their eyes, so it just showed how great a man he was, and we sort of more used, look at that team spirit they must have had back then, and that's what it takes to win, and hopefully we can keep pushing it, and hopefully we can get a crack in September somewhere.
Congratulations, Brownie, and thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, pal.
They're doing a great job, Nathan Brown. They've always been a close club, the Dragons. That will always be the case. And Gus, I guess when you've got a good feel about a club, the tough times, they make you stronger in various ways.
They do. As he said, the death of Robert Stone wouldn't have been used as a motivation. But now that the week is over, they can be proud of themselves for the way they've handled it. It's a tough week for any club when you lose someone you love. And, the Dragons have handled it well and come here tonight and perform. I like the word he used, patience. And I'm not sure whether patience comes from confidence or confidence comes because you're playing with patience. But I think it's intertwined. The Dragons are a confident, composed, patient football team at the moment. And when they're playing like that, it's very different to what they've done in the past. I think they're a little bit too good for everyone just at the moment, but there's a long way to go. Yeah, a lot of maturity in the side at the moment. Nathan Brown's been good enough to speak to us. And the man in charge of the Cowboys' aspirations this year has also caught up with Andrew Voss.
Thanks, Peter. And the Cowboys coach, Graham Murray, has been good enough to give us some time. And the Cowboys nursing a few injuries after tonight. Got to ask first up about Matt Bowen.
Yeah, he got a pretty bad cork to his hip. Obviously, it was at the later end of the game, and we didn't want to risk him any further, so he come off. I'm hoping he'll be all right for next week. And also Paul Bowman was replaced late in the game? Yeah, Bear, he's had a bit of a niggling injury in his ankle a couple of weeks ago. Got through last week fine, just niggled it again. The doc seemed to think, a little bit of rehab, he'd be all right. Now, Graham, tonight you found yourself down 22 points to 0. Was that just the case of running into a red-hot side, or are there some serious flaws here with the Cowboys? Oh, we had some problems, there's no doubt about that. We didn't control the ball as good as we like to, but sometimes you get off to a bad start and then the opposition just keep nailing you, and I thought St George did that. They're a good football side, and we just couldn't get ourselves back into the game until very late in the first half. So what do you take out of tonight, out of this performance? The race for the top 4 still very much on? Yeah, it is, and we're still there or thereabouts, but you do know that St George are going to be there. They're a top side, and we probably didn't play our best tonight. We've got no doubt we can play a bit better than that, and we're as I say, we're thereabouts, and hopefully we can get back in the winner's circle next week. All right, Graham, last word. Only 3 teams have beaten you here this year. One of them's not going to make the finals, that's Souths, but the other 2 are Brisbane and the Dragons. Can you separate them? Oh, I think they'll both be there, and I'd like to think that we'll be there. You probably can't be on top of your game the whole time. We certainly weren't tonight, and the Dragons have shown over about the last 5 weeks that they've peaked at the right time. They're a good football team, well coached, and they've got good players. But we'll rebound. We've got a good football team here, and we just had a bit of a lull at different times tonight, particularly our start. Graham, appreciate your time. Thanks, Andrew.
We do indeed, and despite the disappointment, still very confident about the chances of his team this year. And I think that's the thing I like about him, Gus, is that when they have a good win, he doesn't get too carried away. When they have a loss, he's not devastated. His demeanour doesn't change that much, and I think the players would appreciate that kind of approach.
I even said that at half-time. When he was talking to his team at half-time, he not only had this 40 minutes to contend with, but the rest of the season as well. Yeah. And you've got to remember that the Cowboys played very well in the final series last year. The Dragons didn't, and the Broncos haven't for some time. So he's still got that in the back of his mind that when September starts, it's a whole different competition, and his side is proven, where whilst the others are playing well, they've still got to get there and do it. So I think in the back of his mind, if he can get back to best form, he thinks his side's still a real chance in this competition. I agree. Yeah, 36 points to 16, the Dragons over the Cowboys. As we pointed out, every game this weekend has an influence on the top 8. That is definitely the case in our Sunday afternoon game out at Brookvale, where Manly will take on Brisbane. We'll take a break now, discuss that game in a moment, and also wrap it up here from Dairy Farmers. I wish that I could fly into the sky.
Fairly popular result tonight if the dividend is anything to go by in our Pick the Score. 36 points to 16, just $177.05. And tomorrow the starts are fairly skinny in the TAB for the Warriors, the Sharks and the Knights. How do you see them, Gus?
I think the Eels and the Storm have got too much to play for. I think they'll cover those starts, and I would hate to be giving Andrew Johns 5.5 start in anything.
Okay, now very important game. It's our Sunday afternoon game at Brookvale between the competition leaders, Brisbane, up against Manly. Questions being asked of the Seagulls. They've been in the top 8 all year, but this side lead the competition and lead so fairly clearly.
Yeah, well, the Raiders showed up at Suncorp last week that you can go with them, and if you do, you're a chance of beating them. The Eagles, absolutely gut-wrenching last week. They put so much into that home game at Brookvale Oval against the Cowboys. They thought they'd scored the winning try with 3 minutes to go, only to have it snatched away from them by Ty Williams. It's just a matter of how tough are Manly. Can they raise one more effort at Brookvale Oval for their fans? I think they will. I think Manly and Broncos, this will be one of the big ones between the two clubs.
Well, the latter says they need to, because after one game in round 22, the Dragons enjoyed the Eels on 28 points. Cowboys stay on 26. Now, there you can see how important it is for Manly on 24 points. The Sharks rounded out on that number, just outside the 8 at the moment. 4 teams who can still figure: Bulldogs, Raiders, Warriors and Roosters. And Gus, the Rabbitohs had the bye this weekend to move to 17. Is there somebody there that can make a charge that maybe we thought weren't going to be quarter-finalists?
Look, outside the top 3 sides that I said, the Dragons, the Broncos and the Cowboys, I think probably the Eels and the Tigers are the next best.
Yep.
Then the Storm. I don't rate the rest at all. I think, probably 8 teams is too much. I think someone mediocre is going to make it. The others really don't deserve to be in playoff time. But those sides, anything can happen at finals time. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eels or Tigers have a great final series. But for me, the big 3, they'll be the ones.
Nothing mediocre about the Dragons tonight. Thanks for your company. 36-16, the Dragons have beaten the Cowboys here at Dairy Farmers. Another huge crowd, over 21,000 in. Thanks for your company tonight. We'll do it all again very soon. But on behalf of the Channel 9 Rugby League team from Townsville, we wish you a very good night.
The Dragons front row. Young out of dummy half. He's got himself a try. And a dummy half goes Timmins. A run for the line. The tackle first and did. Off comes to Thompson. He's got Best on his outside. Bowman tries to hold up Thompson. Cooper's on the run. Cooper's got support. And Singer saved another one. First in control on the left. He's got O'Donnell. Cuts out O'Donnell. Bowman. Bowman for the line. Stops the fullback. Thurston with a run.